Alright guys, I kind of forgot to hit the red button, but we got all the spot wheels along the bottom end. I'm going to go through and tack this side, go over here and adjust this side and tack it. I'm going to go through and put a tack every other side and stop. I'm going to go to the other side, put this cool and go back and forth. I had to kind of jerry rig my welder end. It was all messed up and I didn't have a fitting for it, so I kind of got one just jerry rigged in the end of it. The tip, anyway. See how that works. Making sure these panels are flush. I like to have a little bit of a gap. That's why I got this little bit of a nice pick where I just stick the tip in and keep the gap. Which I cut it that way too. It's just, that's why I did the spot wheels first. Then we bring it up instead of one. Guys, that one's tacked in. Now remember guys, I ain't no professional. I'm at the bottom end. Now, as you can see, I'm not too worried about the heat coming up and hurting the paint, because remember, we are coming down. And this is just smoke, burn smoke, so it ain't really gonna hurt the paint. We're coming so far down with the chip guard. Now, I'm gonna get the other side in and get it where we want it, and repeat the same process. Get the bottom welded in first, then come up to the top and get it. I did notice though, I thought I was crazy, and I didn't know if it was just the way my truck was or what, but a guy at work has one. I kind of just glanced at it to see. But the rocker, it's the same on the outside, but it kind of slopes down farther in the back, and it gets wider in the back. Like from there to there is wider. I didn't really notice it. I'm kind of glad I didn't cut the wrong one for the wrong side, because they did say they did have a left and right on them. I didn't notice it until I started drilling all the spot weld holes on the bottom, that the back side's wider. So yeah, we'll just keep on trucking. I don't know why that is. But yeah, long day at work, and here we are working again. All right, guys, we're back. Hey, no professional here. Just a man trying to get stuff done. We got this one all tacked in. I've done made 2 rounds, where first tack in, then I came back through and hit each center between cool times. Just got this side over here tacked in, and this side's tacked. Ran into a problem right from there to there. It's just a hair too long, so I have to go in there with a little cutting wheel, air cutting wheel, and just kind of shave it down a little bit, get it where I need it, then finish tacking it. So what we got for now. We gotta finish that. I have to keep going back and forth, because if I get too much heat down here, it's gonna warp everything. So I'm gonna figure out that little piece of metal back there at the back. I'm gonna sand it down a little bit and get that where I can tack it in, and let it cool, man, and at least get 2 rounds on each side. I already got 2 here. I'm gonna get another 2 over there. Door down. Temperature seems to be dropping. Man, I tell you what, we had some fun this morning. Gator, no heater, no wipers. Only heater I got in there is just enough to thaw out the window. It's just a little plug-in deal. But I tell you what, I'm glad I ran next to that window, because it was pouring her down all day today, and it's still raining. But she don't like wet roads. She gets sideways just about everywhere, and that's taking off slow. With that Yukon locker and stuff in the back and 373 gears. I mean, it ain't much, but it's enough for it just wanting to spin all the time and being light in the rear. Yeah. Let's just say we had some people behind us. Wonder what the hell I was doing today, because I was all over the road a couple times. So it might have been by accident, but other was me, goofing off. Had some fun. Alright, guys, I know I haven't been really showing this whole process, because it is a pain in the ass to record, weld, grind, cut without cameras and stuff getting destroyed, especially when you're by yourself. If I had someone holding it, yeah, it wouldn't be that bad, but this is what we got so far. She's completely welded in, sanded down. The other side's done too. Ended up having to put I had to make a cab corner, lower half, for the other side. I'll show you here in a second. And we also drilled finger size hole right in the cab corner back here. And I thought about doing one up there, but there's already one on the back side. So stuff can get out. I got a plug for it to put in just after winter time and stuff. Maybe I'll go in there for water hose and shoot it all out. Now, we scuffed them, weld through, primed the edges, and then we etch primed the centers. Then we rust buried the whole center, and we welded it in. We also rust buried the inner rocker. Then this side, I'm just a wheeling. We got it all done, and I had to make that little corner piece right there I actually put a dent in it. I don't know. Might have to try to reach in there with something where I put that hole probably down a little bit. But this is all done. I'm gonna get this edge primed because come to find out, we're supposed to get some snow this week. And I have to have this truck if we get snow. So I got 3 solid days before we're supposed to get it, so I can drive Gator. I'm gonna get this edge primed. Sorry about the fan noise. I got the heater starting up and the fan cycling. I'm gonna go ahead and get all this wiped down and get some etch prime on it. Shut the door, get her hot in here, let her bake on, and get a couple coats of etch prime on. Then we'll go through with some glaze putty, or not glaze putty, hell, icing. Same thing as putty, but it's just a real thin layer over where we welded. I'm not even gonna do the outside. I'm not gonna do the underneath. Hey guys, welcome back to my Suck Garage. I haven't videoed all the little welding and doing all this. I showed you some clips, showed you what I cut out and whatnot. We did a little bit of glaze putty where we welded just to make sure it's all good and smooth. You don't see the weld marks. If you don't know what icing or glaze putty is, I call it icing, but it's like a finishing putty. It goes on real smooth. Fills in like little tiny where your weld is. If you can't get it all the way down to bare metal flush, this out pretty good. Grind all the metal down, the weld down real good. It's just that there's kind of a difference in that rocker cap. I had to weld the bottoms, tack it in, bend it as I got to the top on the outside. And the time I got welded in, it kind of made, I thought the heat would bring it in flat, but it didn't. It kind of made like a point. I went through with a body hammer and we heated and got it really good and straight. But it wasn't quite perfect. I really didn't want you seeing it once we painted it black. If it showed, I don't think it'll show. It wasn't much, honestly. But so we used a little bit of icing over where we welded on every panel that we welded in, the rockers and the 2 bed. It's just to make her nice and smooth. Now I gotta wipe down. I'm gonna wipe down passenger side of the truck, and we're gonna get a laser. I have to bring the rock chip up farther on the truck than I thought, because once I started looking at the doors, there's a bunch of chips and stuff already taken out of the paint and already started rusting. So where the chip was missing. So we're gonna take it up to the body molding on the sides. As far as we're gonna go. I'm gonna run a laser off each side of the body molding after I measure to make sure they're right on both sides. I'm gonna hook a laser to it to run it down the bed and to the front fender. Well, actually, we don't need it on the front fender. We just need a straight line down the bed to match. So we're gonna do the bed, blow the doors, the bed, and we're gonna go around the wheel wells too. If it looks right, I got some painter's tape, real thin tape. We're gonna tape it all out and see what it looks like. See if I can get it to curve the way I want. I don't know. We'll see. Let me show you something. I just got done kind of blowing all the dust and stuff out. I'm still kind of covered in it. Got the icing on just where we welded. It's a really thin layer. Honestly, could have sanded it all out, but that's with a flat block. So, and we got a little bit over the patch panel we put in here, smoothed out, nice and smooth. So, but this is the body line. You can kind of see it as I move here, right here. I'm gonna go from here down to this lip all the way around the arch, and on that side, which is the chip guard. I'm not gonna go as heavy there with it. It's gonna be kind of thin there around the wheel arch. I'm gonna go there too, but from this body panel molding, whatever you want to call it, here down, we're gonna do the rock chip too. I wasn't gonna go that far up, but there's a lot of rock chips right in this area. So we're gonna go from here down. I'm gonna put a laser about right here, after we measure front, back, side to side, left and right. Yeah. We're gonna put a laser there and shoot that laser down the side of the truck so we can have a perfect straight line where we're putting it. And then we'll go from there. But this side's done. It's all smoothed out to 400 grit. Started with 120. This side here is done. Now this side we had to work on the door. There's a rough spot on the door. It wasn't real bad, but when this side's done, nice and smooth. We ground all the both sides inside this lip to bare metal. But now I gotta etch prime all this again because I got it back to bare metal. But first, I need to take my line off. We need to go ahead and sand where we're putting the rest of it. So if I have to hit any more bare metal spots or make any more bare metal spots, we can hit it all with etch prime at the same time. Then we'll wipe everything down, hit it with etch prime, get it baking in here, spray it, turn the exhaust fan on, and maybe put 2 layers of it on, maybe 3. And then we'll come out and do an ultra fine scuff pad, scuff the etch prime down, and then we'll go ahead and hit it with the primer. And then we'll do, I want to say maybe 6 coats of the primer of where we did the body work. I'm not doing where we're going to do the 400 grit on the factory paint because there's no need of it. We didn't take it to bare metal, we didn't cut it. So probably do about 6 coats of the primer on the body work we did. Now, you can kind of tell where I'm going with here. I wiped that down so you can't really tell. But if you look back here, you can see. That's a body line that's already there. It kind of looks like a flare already. So, not here, but just a little bit above it. And from that body line over, and when we get to here, I kind of might just kind of loop it in, kind of like right here. I just kind of did that to see. And I'll do the same over here, just kind of loop it in. And we're going to go clear across and do the same to the front. I'll show you my tape lines. I did a bunch of measuring, and I made some templates of tape so I know both sides are the same. I cut them exactly the right way to where from there down to the bottom of the fender is cut perfect on tape. I got a piece, it's actually back here on this one, but that's how far we're going down. And over here, that's how far we're going down. And there's how far we're going down. And then of course the wheel wells, which I showed you over there, kind of the design. And me sanding that first, instead of me trying to tape this, trying to tape that little body line, with me sanding that first, once I wipe her all down, it's easier for me to see the line. And then we'll run this thin tape so we can get that perfect texture here. And then we'll run a big thick wall around it. And then we'll start masking. And we will get the rock chip on. Hey guys, it's Friday night, Bust Sock Garage night. Got everything outlined. I'll tell you what, that tape is awesome. It's on the other side, but it's a 3M. Man, you can make a curve perfect with it, but it's really thin. It breaks real easy. I came in here and cut these corners. Instead of just coming straight out, just cut them at an angle on the back and front, just a small one. And I did the front back part of the fender too, same way. I just cut a little piece of triangle out of cardboard so they're exact. But as you can see, just around the lips, still some clear coat you can see. We gotta go through with the scuff pad and hit that, and all these little edges, and back here a little bit. And we gotta clean some mud off of here where that plastic cover was on. And I gotta take the muffler tips off. And then we're gonna start hanging the plastic up. I'm gonna start up here first, put 2 big pieces of tape, let the plastic hang down, and I'll tuck it up and tape it where we need it around the truck. Come through here and tape it all around. But that's the way she's gonna look. It's kind of hard to tell. The bottom of the rocker, all that stuff's got primer on it now. We did 6 coats of Rust-Oleum primer. And before that we did, I want to say about 6 coats of etch primer. I went through 4 etch primer cans. I want to make sure this stuff ain't rusting back. There is no bare, this where everything's sanded is not, there's no bare metal. It's just where we scuffed a clear coat. Still have to go through and scuff all the edges, get all the shiny off. We got to scuff the primer spots. And then she's ready for some chip guard. And I'm not really sure. It's supposed to be black. If it kind of don't match the factory color, we're gonna leave it masked, plastic, and you're able to paint over this chip guard. So if it kind of don't match, we're gonna go get 2 cans made of the actual black color of the truck. And while I got it masked, we're gonna go over it with that black. We'll probably do 2 coats on each side, so it kind of blends in. But if it kind of matches, just a little odd difference in it, well, let it ride, bud. Let it ride. But hey, I appreciate you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hey guys, we're back at it. Just had my oldest son come out and help me get this all masked up, get the plastic on. Guys, when you spray that chip guard, undercoat, anything like that stuff gets everywhere. Just make sure you get it good and masked off. I did notice, I'll show you what's going on. Got this side done. Got the wheels covered. I still need to cover my tips. I was gonna take them off, but I don't want to break a bolt, so I'm gonna get 2 grocery bags and cover them. I did notice this blue tape's junk. Never buying that shit again, I'll tell you that. It's not sticking very good. So I gotta go through and scuff a couple places and scuff the primer down there and this primer up here. Let me get you the other side and show you. I got a mess. This truck barely fits in here. And we got this side all ready. It says this stuff has to set for 24 hours. So once I get this scuffed, wipe down really good. We'll make sure it's good and dry. We'll get the heat cranked up in here really good, and then we'll shut the heater off for a minute. And I'll turn the exhaust fan on, and we'll give it its first coat. Alright guys, it's been wiped, been wet wiped twice, dried twice, taped and checked. I think we're ready. Get all this shook up, see exactly, give it 2 tips. I think what we're going to start with, we're going to go under, around the inside of the fender, side of that fender and under, and then we'll come back out and hit the outside. But I gotta shake this up, I gotta get one more thing. Alright, let's get one roll of shake. I know you guys like that boot scooting boogie I was going across the floor there. That's one full can. It was hard to judge my distance. I gotta get to the other side now. Truck is done. Needs cleaned up badly. Still gotta put the piece of plastic back here on. We put the 1/2 inch spacer on the front, so she's sitting really level now. Maybe a little higher in the front just by a hair. I think it'll settle some more. It's dirty. Got the rocker or the running boards back on. We had to drill holes in the new rockers. Get some paint on them. But it's all done. I think it turned out pretty good. This side is the driveway slopes down, so it's not really setting that level on this side, but it's all done. I think eventually, if this stuff starts to fade, we'll mask it off again and we'll shoot the same color as the truck. But if not, I think I'm gonna get some more of it and redo the running boards the same. But we got the cap on here, cap on that side. We still gotta put the caps back on here and give it a good wash job. And now we gotta clean the shop, get Gator in here later.